Ryan stopped speaking. Not because he was angry, not because he slammed his office door, but because the entire floor went quiet. Like every computer, every phone, every person had suddenly realized something terrible had just happened. My name is Emily Carter, and until that morning, I had spent 2 years pretending I didn't love my boss. Ryan Hale was not the kind of man women ignored. He was calm, focused, polite in a way that felt almost dangerous. The kind of person who remembered how you took your coffee, but never let you know if it meant anything. To everyone else, he was the perfect executive. To me, he was the one person I should never have wanted. And I didn't tell anyone. Except my best friend, Mia. Every Friday night, I wrote her long emails from my apartment, usually with a glass of wine nearby and my laptop balanced on my knees. They were dramatic, embarrassing, way too honest. And on Thursday morning, half asleep and running late, I wrote the worst one yet. Subject line, the letter Emily never meant to send. I meant it as a joke. I wrote everything. How Ryan looked when he loosened his tie after meetings. How his voice softened when he said my name. How sometimes, when he stood too close, I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. And then I wrote the sentence that ruined everything. I think I'm in love with him, Mia. And the worst part is, sometimes I think he already knows. I hit send. Then I looked at the recipient. Ryan Hale. Not Mia. Ryan. For 3 full seconds, I did not breathe. Then my stomach dropped so hard I thought I might actually pass out. I clicked undo. Too late. I opened sent. There it was, delivered. I whispered, no, no, no. Then from across the office, Ryan's door opened. He stepped out holding his phone. His eyes found mine immediately. And for the first time since I had known him, Ryan Hale looked completely shaken. At first, I told myself maybe he hadn't read it. Maybe he had just seen the subject line. Maybe the universe would show me one tiny act of mercy. But then Ryan walked toward my desk, slowly. Not angry, not smiling, just unreadable. The kind of calm that makes panic worse. Emily, he said. My mouth went dry. Yes? Can we talk? I wanted to disappear into the carpet. Everyone pretended not to listen, which somehow made it worse. I followed him into his office, already rehearsing 10 different apologies. It was a mistake. I was tired. I didn't mean it. Please don't fire me. Please don't hate me. Please forget I exist. Ryan closed the door behind us. The click sounded final. He didn't sit down. Neither did I. His phone was still in his hand. My email was still open on the screen. For a moment, he only looked at me. Then he said quietly, "Did you mean it?" That was the first strange thing. Not, "This is inappropriate." Not, "We need to involve HR." Not, "You crossed a line." Just, "Did you mean it?" My face burned. "I'm sorry," I said quickly. "It wasn't meant for you. It was private. I know how bad this looks." Emily. His voice stopped me. It wasn't cold. It was almost careful. "Did you mean it?" I looked at the floor, and because I had already lost everything, I told the truth. Yes. The silence after that was unbearable. Ryan turned toward the window. Outside, downtown Chicago moved like nothing had happened. Cars, people, morning sun on glass buildings. Inside that office, my entire life was collapsing. Finally, he said, "You should go home for the day." My heart cracked. "Am I fired?" He turned back. "No." That should have relieved me. It didn't, because he looked like he wanted to say something else, something he was fighting hard not to say. I grabbed my bag with shaking hands and left the building before anyone could ask me what happened. By the time I got home, I had cried so hard my eyes hurt. Mia called 17 times. I didn't answer. Then at 8:46 that night, my phone buzzed. A message from Ryan. Only 5 words. "We need to talk tomorrow." Then another message appeared. "And not at the office." I stared at those messages until the screen went dark. Not at the office. What did that mean? A coffee shop? A lawyer's office? Some neutral place where he could politely destroy my career. I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw him reading that email. Every sentence, every humiliating detail. The next morning, Ryan sent an address, a small bookstore cafe 2 neighborhoods away. I arrived 15 minutes early because panic has its own schedule. Ryan was already there. No suit jacket, no tie, just a dark sweater, coffee in front of him, and a look on his face I had never seen before. He stood when I approached. That made it worse. "Thank you for coming," he said. "I really don't know what to say." "I do," he said. Then he stopped. His hand tightened around the coffee cup. For a man who controlled boardrooms like chessboards, he suddenly looked afraid of one conversation. "I shouldn't have read all of it," he said. A bitter laugh slipped out of me. "But you did." "Yes." "And?" He looked directly at me. "And I've read worse lies in kinder words." I didn't understand. He leaned forward slightly. "Your email was honest." My pulse changed. There was something in his voice, something dangerous, something close to confession. But before he could continue, his phone rang. He looked at the screen. His expression hardened. He declined the call. A second later, it rang again. Same number. Ryan silenced it and turned the phone face down. "Everything okay?" I asked. "No." The answer came too fast. Then he said something that made the room tilt. "Emily, there's something you don't know about me." My body went still. Ryan looked toward the front window as if checking whether someone had followed him. "I'm not married," he said. "I know. But I was engaged." That surprised me. He had never mentioned anyone, not once. "It ended 3 years ago," he continued. "Badly." I waited. His voice dropped. "She used my feelings against me, at work, publicly. It nearly ended my career." My breath caught. Suddenly, his silence made sense. His distance, his controlled kindness, his careful boundaries. "I promised myself I would never let that happen again," he said. Then he looked at me. "And then you sent that email." For a second, neither of us moved. Then he added, almost too quietly to hear, "The problem is, I didn't hate reading it." Those words should have felt like a dream. Instead, they terrified me, because dreams are safe when they stay impossible. The moment Ryan made it real, everything became dangerous. "What are you saying?" I asked. He looked down. "I'm saying I've noticed you too." My heart hit my ribs. "I'm saying I know how you take your coffee because I wanted a reason to ask." "I'm saying every time I kept things professional, it wasn't because I felt nothing." My throat tightened. "Ryan." "I know," he said. "I'm your boss. That matters." "It matters a lot." "Yes." He leaned back, jaw tense. "That's why nothing can happen while we work together." The words hurt, even though they were right. I nodded, trying not to show it. "Then why tell me?" His eyes met mine. "Because you were brave enough to be honest by accident. I thought I owed you honesty on purpose." That sentence stayed in my chest. For a few seconds, I forgot the fear. I forgot HR. I forgot the email. There was only him, only the space between us. Then his phone buzzed again. This time, a text flashed across the screen. I saw only part of it, but it was enough. "Careful, Ryan. She's not as innocent as she looks." My blood went cold. Ryan picked up the phone too quickly. "Who is that?" I asked. "No one." That didn't look like no one. His expression changed. Not guilt, fear. "Emily, listen to me. Don't respond to any unknown numbers. Don't talk about this with anyone at work. And if someone asks about the email, tell me immediately." "What is going on?" He stood. "I need to handle something." "Ryan." He stopped. For the first time, he looked trapped. Then he said, "My ex-fiancé is back." The name was Claire Whitmore, former senior partner at a consulting firm. Brilliant, charming, ruthless. And apparently, 3 years ago, she had almost destroyed Ryan's reputation by leaking private messages between them after he ended their engagement. But the part that made my stomach twist was what Ryan said next. "She knows about your email." I froze. How? I don't know. But I could tell he had an idea. And suddenly, my mistake wasn't just embarrassing. It was leverage. Someone had seen it. Someone outside Ryan's inbox. Someone who wanted to use my feelings like a weapon. By Monday, the office felt different. Not obviously. No one pointed. No one whispered when I walked by. But people knew things before they should have. A junior analyst asked if I was feeling better after Thursday. A woman from finance smiled too long in the elevator. And Mia, who worked on another floor, grabbed my arm near the lobby and whispered, "Emily, why is your name in a rumor thread?" My stomach turned. "What rumor thread?" She showed me her phone. It was anonymous. No names at first. Just a post on an internal gossip board that everyone knew existed and everyone pretended not to read. Someone in leadership got a love letter from a direct report. Wonder how long HR ignores it. My hands went numb. Then another line. Some women don't climb the ladder. They flirt up it. I felt sick. Mia squeezed my hand. "Tell me this isn't about you." 3, Ryan called me into his office. He looked worse than I had ever seen him. Not tired, furious, controlled, but barely. HR received an anonymous complaint, he said. I sank into the chair. They have the email? No, not yet. Just enough details to make it clear. Claire? That's what I thought. What do you think now? Ryan slid a printed sheet across the desk. It was a screenshot of the internal post. At the bottom, there was a line I hadn't noticed. She even wrote that he loosens his tie after meetings. Cute, right? My chest tightened. That exact line was in my email. But here was the problem. Ryan hadn't forwarded it. I hadn't forwarded it. And Claire should not have had access. Unless... The company email system, I whispered. Ryan's expression confirmed it. Someone inside accessed it. That was the major twist. The threat wasn't only Claire. It was someone at work, someone close enough to read private emails, someone close enough to know exactly where to press. And by lunchtime, HR scheduled interviews with both of us. Ryan went in first. He was inside for 42 minutes. When he came out, he didn't look at me. Not because he didn't want to, because everyone was watching. Then I went in. 3 people sat across the table. Their questions were polite, sharp. Had Ryan ever behaved inappropriately? Did he encourage the feelings described? Did he offer career benefits? Did I feel pressured? Every question made me realize how easily the truth could be twisted. No, I said again and again. No, he did nothing wrong. But the woman from HR tilted her head. Emily, sometimes people protect powerful men because they're afraid. I leaned forward. I'm not afraid of Ryan. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. You should be. I didn't show HR the message. I should have. But fear does strange things. It makes silence feel safer than truth. When I left the room, Ryan was waiting near the stairwell. Not close enough to look suspicious. Close enough that I knew he was waiting for me. Are you okay? He asked. No. His face tightened. I showed him the text. For a second, he didn't move. Then he said, "This ends today." But it didn't. It got worse. That evening, I stayed late to finish a client report, mostly because going home alone felt unbearable. The office emptied around me. Lights clicked off section by section. By 8:15, I was alone. Or I thought I was. Then my computer screen flickered. A new email appeared in my inbox. No sender, no subject, just one attachment. My hands hovered over the keyboard. I knew not to open it. I opened it anyway. It was a photo. Me, leaving the cafe with Ryan, taken from across the street. Below it, one sentence. Romantic, isn't it? I stood so fast my chair rolled backward. Then the office printer started. One page, then another, then another. I walked toward it slowly, heart pounding. Each page was part of my email, printed in large font, sentence by sentence. I think I'm in love with him. I notice everything. Sometimes I think he already knows. The printer kept going, like the building itself was exposing me. I grabbed the pages with shaking hands and shoved them into my bag. Then I heard a sound behind me, a chair moving. I turned. Someone was standing near the dark conference room. I couldn't see their face. "Hello?" I called. They stepped back into the shadows. Then the emergency stairwell door opened and closed. I ran to Ryan's office. Empty. I called him. No answer. Called again. No answer. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Stop protecting him, Emily." Another message. "He didn't tell you what really happened to Claire." I stood there in the dark, suddenly unsure of everything. Because Ryan had told me one version, but someone else knew another. And maybe the scariest part was, I wanted to trust him so badly that I no longer knew if I could trust myself. The next morning, I found Ryan waiting outside the building. He looked like he hadn't slept. When I showed him the printed pages, the photo, the messages, he closed his eyes. "Emily, I need to tell you the rest." We sat in his car in the underground garage. It felt private. It also felt like hiding. Ryan gripped the steering wheel. "Claire didn't leak private messages after the breakup," he said. I turned toward him. "You said she did." I simplified it. "That's not the same as telling the truth." He nodded once, taking the hit. "She was going to marry me. Then she found out I had recommended another woman for a promotion instead of her." "That's what started it?" "No. What started it was that she believed love meant loyalty over ethics." He swallowed. "When I wouldn't help her, she created messages, fake ones, made it look like I had promised her the role because we were engaged." "Framed you?" "Yes." "Why didn't you fight it?" "I did, quietly. Legal got involved. The company settled. Claire resigned. Everyone agreed to silence." "And now she's back?" Ryan looked at me. "I don't think Claire sent those messages." That hit me harder than anything. Then who did? He pulled out his phone and opened a security report. "IT traced the access to your email archive." My mouth went dry. The login came from inside the building, from an admin terminal. "Who has access?" "3 people." He hesitated. Then he said the name I didn't expect. Mia. The garage seemed to lose air. "No." "Emily." "No. She's my best friend." "I know." "She wouldn't do this." "I hope you're right." I got out of the car before he could stop me. I found Mia in the lobby cafe, typing on her phone. When she saw my face, her smile faded. "What happened?" I asked her directly. "Did you access my email?" Her eyes widened. "What?" "Don't lie to me." She stood slowly. "Emily, I would never." "Ryan said—" Mia laughed, but it was sharp. "Of course, Ryan said." "What does that mean?" "It means he's already making you choose." I stared at her. Then Mia leaned closer and whispered, "You think Claire was the problem? Ask Ryan why every woman who gets close to him ends up leaving." My chest tightened. "What are you talking about?" Mia's eyes filled with tears. And that was the moment I realized she wasn't scared for me. She was scared of him. At 3 o'clock that afternoon, HR called an emergency meeting. Ryan was there. Mia was there. So were 2 IT managers and the head of legal. The room felt like a courtroom without a judge. IT confirmed the email had been accessed from an admin terminal. Mia's login had been used. Mia immediately denied it. Then legal played security footage. Grainy. Silent. A hallway outside the admin room. 8:04 p.m. Someone entered using Mia's badge, but the person kept their head down, hood up. Same height as Mia, same build. Then the footage zoomed. A bracelet flashed on the person's wrist. Silver, thin, with a small red stone. Mia looked down at her own bare wrist. "That's not mine," she whispered. But I knew whose it was. Claire's. I had seen it in an old photo on Ryan's company profile from years ago. Claire standing beside him at a charity gala, smiling, wearing that bracelet. Ryan went pale. Legal froze the image. But then another twist came. The security chief cleared his throat. "That footage is from 3 years ago." Silence. "What?" I said. He zoomed in on the timestamp. 3 years ago. The same week Claire left the company. The room went cold. The system had been fed old footage. Someone had planted evidence using archived security files. Someone with deep access. Not Mia. Maybe not Claire. Then Ryan's phone buzzed. Mine too. Mia's too. Everyone's. An email hit the entire company. Subject: The truth about Ryan Hale. Attached was my letter. Ryan's old case file. Claire's fake messages. Security screenshots. Everything. Private things, twisted things, real things. And at the top, one line. Powerful men always survive. Let's see if he survives this. The sender name made my blood turn cold. Emily Carter. Me. But I hadn't sent it. Everyone looked at me. Ryan looked at me too. And for one unbearable second, I saw doubt cross his face. That hurt more than the exposure, more than the humiliation, more than all of it. I stood. I didn't send that. No one spoke, not even Ryan. So I walked out. Not because I was guilty, because I finally understood. This was never about love. It was about making everyone doubt everyone. And it was working. I didn't go home. I went to the one place no one would look for me. The tiny bookstore cafe where Ryan had first told me the truth. I sat in the back corner with my phone off and my hand shaking around a paper cup of coffee I never drank. An hour passed, then another. When the door opened, I looked up. Ryan. He saw me and stopped. For a second, neither of us moved. Then he walked over. "I'm sorry," he said. His voice broke slightly. "I should have believed you instantly." "Yes," I said. He sat across from me. "I did believe you, but I hesitated. That's sometimes worse." "I know." He placed something on the table, a printed email header. I had someone outside the company look at it. The company-wide email wasn't sent from your laptop. It was spoofed. Can they trace it? They already did. My heart pounded. Who? Ryan's eyes darkened. Claire. I exhaled, but he didn't look relieved. And someone else helped her. The cafe noise faded. Who? He slid a second page toward me. Internal access logs, admin credentials, badge records, system overrides. One name repeated again and again. Not Mia, Not Ryan. Dana Miller, head of HR. A powerful man. The same woman who had looked me in the eye while already knowing the answer. Ryan said Dana handled Claire's settlement 3 years ago. She helped cover it up? She helped Claire build it. The truth landed slowly. Dana had protected the company. Claire had wanted revenge. Together, they turned my accidental confession into a bomb. But why me? Ryan answered before I asked. Because your email gave them something emotional, something human. People don't share legal files. They share shame. My eyes filled. I ruined your life. No, he said firmly. You told the truth. They weaponized it. For the first time, I started crying in front of him without trying to hide it. Ryan reached across the table, then stopped. Still careful, still respectful, still Ryan. So I reached for him instead. Our fingers touched, and in that small, trembling moment, everything felt simple. Until my phone turned on by itself, the screen lit up. Unknown number, one message. You found Dana. Good. Then another. But you still haven't found me. The climax happened at 9:17 that night. Ryan and I took everything to the police. The messages, the spoofed email, the admin logs, the cafe photo, the printed pages. For the first time all week, I felt like maybe the nightmare had edges, like maybe it could be contained. Dana resigned before sunrise. Claire disappeared. Mia cried when I apologized, then hugged me so hard I could barely breathe. Ryan was placed on leave during the investigation. I was offered paid time off. The company released a cold, careful statement about internal misconduct, but the truth was uglier. Someone had studied us. Someone had watched the weak points in our lives and pressed them one by one. 2 weeks passed, then 3. The world moved on. People always do. Ryan and I didn't rush into anything. He wasn't my boss anymore. I transferred departments. We met for coffee, then dinner, then walks by the river where neither of us pretended the feelings were accidental. For a while, I thought the email had destroyed my life, but maybe it had only destroyed the lie I was living inside. Then, exactly 1 month after I sent the letter, I received a package. No return address. Inside was a printed copy of my email, the original, the one I sent Ryan. But this copy had handwritten notes in the margins. Not Claire's handwriting, not Dana's, not Ryan's. Someone had underlined one sentence. Sometimes I think he already knows. Beside it, they had written, he did. My hands went cold. Then I saw the final page. It was a photo. Not from the cafe, not from the office. It was from my apartment window, taken the night before I sent the email. I was sitting on my couch, laptop open, writing the letter. On the back of the photo, one sentence was written in red ink. You never sent it by mistake, Emily. I called Ryan. No answer. I called again. Nothing. Then a message arrived from Ryan's number. I'm outside. I went to the window. His car was parked across the street, but Ryan wasn't inside. Someone else was. A woman. Blonde hair, silver bracelet, small red stone. Claire. She looked up at my window and smiled. Then my phone buzzed one last time. This time, the message came from my own email account. Subject line, the next letter. And the body said, Dear Ryan, tell Emily what you did. I never opened the attachment. Not that night. Maybe that was fear. Maybe it was instinct. Or maybe some truths are only powerful until you read them. But every time I hear an email notification now, I still stop breathing. Because somewhere out there, someone knows the one thing I don't. Whether Ryan was the victim or the reason it all began.